Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the committee. You know, this process of crafting this bill reminds me a little bit of my triathlon training and experiences. It involves several legs, a few disciplines, and a little bit of endurance. When you start, you got a little bit of energy, you hit some walls through the way, and you got to push through those, and I think we might have hit a few walls along this way, but we have done well. We've got a great committee. They have pushed along. But when you realize you're getting close to the end of that first leg, you get just a little bit of your second wind, and you know it's in sight, and you're ready to move on to the next leg. And that's where we are today. We're finishing that first leg and preparing for the next. Joining this committee a little over 4 years ago, I said I wanted this committee to be known as a place where we were saving taxpayer dollars and not spending, that would be what we were known for. And in recent years, under the leadership of Chairman Rogers here, we have begun that process in a mightiful way, and that perception has been completed. This process has been very open, it's been very transparent. The committee has made a priority of ensuring that every taxpayer dollar is spent wisely, and in keeping with that trend, the bill we are here to discuss today holds the line on spending. It's a bill that honors and respects the taxpayers while preserving the beauty of our Capitol campus, providing essential security for visitors and staff, and ensuring that we're able to provide the services that our constituents expect and deserve. This bill provides a total of $3.3 billion for the legislative branch, excluding all the Senate items. The bill includes a freeze on all the funding for the House of Representatives, for our leadership, for the committees, and for the members' office budgets. It also continues the member pay freeze that was put in place in 2010. And in all, this represents a 14% reduction in funding for the House of Representatives since the Republicans gained control of Congress in 2011. More specifically, this bill increases funding for Capitol Police, and it allows small increases for several other agencies while trimming budgets in less critical areas. The bill recognizes the continued challenges faced by the architect of the Capitol, and now there's a balance that must be struck between preserving these historic buildings and funding other critical projects, including life safety projects. Overall, the architect's budget is one that was trimmed. The bill puts a new emphasis on transparency and accountability in the major construction projects under the architect, and that's why this bill transitions to direct appropriations from the Cannon Restoration Project rather than continue the use of the House Historic Building Revitalization Fund. This is a major change. This change will significantly improve the committee's ability to provide oversight for this major project. Additionally, this bill includes language that places a 25% cap on the amount available for larger projects within the legislative branch. In order to receive the remaining 75% of that appropriation, this new oversight requires a plan for any of these projects over $5 million to be submitted to the GAO and the committee for approval. And this plan must address any projected changes to the project schedule or the cost. And it must include a description of the safeguards taken to ensure that the project remains on time and on budget. Regarding the Library of Congress, this bill includes funding to meet the library's current needs, including an increase for the Copyright Office to reduce claims processing and analyze possible process improvements. Additionally, the committee will be working with the library in upcoming months to track its progress in addressing its critical IT infrastructure problems, which have been identified by the GAO in the recent report. And finally, a tight budget requires making some sacrifices. And so this bill includes $1 million to begin the orderly shutdown of the Open World Leadership Center. The fact is, the Open World Leadership Center was created as a one-time exchange program. But like many government programs, it has long outlasted its usefulness. While there is certainly a role for the U.S. government to play in this type of outreach, there are approximately 95 similar programs already administered government-wide. So in closing, I'd like to thank Ranking Member Wasserman Schultz, Chairman Rogers, Ms. Lowy, the members of our subcommittee and full committee, and staff for their hard work throughout this process, and particularly Jason Murphy in our office, who has worked tirelessly as we have gone through this journey. This is a product that I believe you can be proud of.